Yogah Karmasu Kaushalam.
Hi, welcome to the 30th and last session in the course HRM for non-HR managers. Today we are going to explore the directions of future development in human resource management. For several sessions until now, we have been discussing slightly advanced topics in HRM which would not be in practice in many organizations. Today we are at the close of this course and we are going to discuss HRM on the horizon. When we think of the changes looming on the horizon for any field of knowledge and practice, it is always likely that some unforeseen change will shift the whole paradigm, but then the nature of such transformations is unpredictable. Therefore, what we present here is the more evolutionary picture. Calling it scenario thinking, Peter Drucker presents HR 4.0 as a state marked by high level of automation and high quality of employer-employee partnership. As you are aware, the current scenario is marked by increasing automation, but the relations between the employer and employee has a lot of ground to cover before they become highly collaborative and marked by trust on both sides. The widespread concern about jobs also reflects the current reality that a job in a company is a source of employment with few other alternatives. Noting the trend of jobs being replaced by machines and the few remaining jobs full of challenge having more workers than the demand, Drucker considers a future where company is a source of personal career provider. According to this scenario, the sensitive and highly personal data collection from the employees will be curbed and the data collected would be more safely kept and used for far more highly personalized HR functions such as compensation and training. Why would such changes occur and why do we see employer as building career for individual employees? The entire question focuses on increasing the use of technology and changing stance of new generation employees. Karen McCandless argues that work on the coming decade will be increasingly about passion and purpose and not money. Employees who possess the talent which is already in short supply, the HR will have to evolve its ways so that it can find, engage and retain people who possess it. A global advisory firm, Willis Towers Watson, which is operating in 140 countries with 45,000 employees, presents a case study of how some companies are already redesigning their talent acquisition modes. To source potential hires, one of its client companies, which is a multinational consumer goods company, places ads for entry-level positions on social media to target online users with an algorithm in place to sift through qualifications. Potential applicants can click on the ads and apply via their LinkedIn profile. After an initial assortment, qualifying applicants receive 12 online games, tests and video recordings which are used to assess the applicant to grant an in-person interview. The company says 80% of applicants granted an in-person interview are given an offer. According to survey Willis Towers Watson conducted in order to find out what the respondents thought about HR in 2028, it found that HR is expected to be redefined in 4 ways. A. Changing HR operations through the use of next generation automation tools and standardized processes will raise the service levels and improve the employee experience. B. People being placed at the core of organization and data analytics being embedded in day-to-day HR processes, the role of HR as a business partner will be replaced entirely with a new talent value leader or TVL role. C. To drive improvements in operational performance, HR is becoming more agile. New roles of HR will emerge, such as workforce analytics professional, robot trainer, virtual culture architect, data talent and AI integrator, and cyber ecosystem designer. Just in case if you haven't heard about agile organizations, I would add that as McKinsey articulates, agile organizations like living organisms are both stable and dynamic at the same time. They design stable backbone elements that evolve slowly and support dynamic capabilities that can adapt quickly to new challenges and opportunities. If you are wondering whether the role of HR will be agile in an agile organization, you are right. In an agile organization, HR needs to provide the same services it's always provided: hiring, professional development, performance management, but in ways that are responsive to the ongoing changes in the culture and work style of the organization. Agile espouses collaboration, customer centricity, team-based culture, and continuous improvement. Agile HR requires having the right people in place to practice and refine these new processes. Further, the performance measurement also needs to reflect the agile mindset. This and many changes have already been unfolding. We shift our attention to what may be happening in the coming decade on HR front. Quoting an increase of 5 to 9% in certified HR specialists, managers, and compensation and benefits experts in the USA, Strategic Human Resource Management Organization expects bright prospects for HRM. The HRM by 2025 is presented as having features as we now look at. 1. Trusted partner. Increasing deployment of technology will free the HR manager from mundane traditional tasks such as processing payroll, answering benefits questions, and scheduling interviews. This time will present the HR with an opportunity to not just matching the position with a candidate in a role of a steward of employment. HR will be the trusted advisor, according to Ravin Jesunathan, a managing director in the Chicago office at HR consultancy Willis Towers Watson. Second, from being told about how company succeeds to making the company succeed. Experts often see HR just as managing to know the company's stock price and read a profit and loss statement. HR leaders of the future will understand the strategic direction of the business and the economic and social environment in which the company operates. Backed by this understanding, HR as a part of the executive team would actively help the company succeed. The HR roles for future would include HR data scientist or chief technology officer, employee experience specialist, and head of talent acquisition technology selection. 3. People focus. Taking the talent war head on, successful HR managers in future would engage in giving top workers a reason to come to work for them. The global competition will not just be limited to markets, but it will also involve competing for the very best employees. HR managers will focus more and more on creating an environment where people cannot imagine being anywhere else. 4. Workforce across time zones. Experts believe that 2025 workforce will include not just transient workers whose tenure is short, but also the workers in the new generation whose tenures are as short as daily employment. Some of the HR's workers will be as remote as 7 or 10 time zones away. 5. Benefits package to reflect changing time. Attracting and keeping top talent by global standards and new variations of employment formats involve offering and administering benefits package that appeals to the modern worker. Thus, the pay and benefits package of the future will not just be linked to paternal leave and flexi time, but also caregiver leave, expanded fertility benefits, gender reassignment and transformation assistance, financial wellness programs, and many other benefits that fit the changing lifestyle. 6. Compliance to the changing laws. While compliance to the traditional regulations related to tax, family, medical and other leave will continue, with the changing workforce and evolution of definition of employee rights, the HR will need to comply with the laws that will regulate the employment of the gig or rapidly shifting and remote workers. Changing laws on substance abuse would also require compliance and internal policy on use and abuse of such substances. Closing gender and ability gaps in pay will reshape compensation laws and organizational policy as well. 7. Certification or upgradation of HR competencies. HR specialists need to expand their knowledge of both traditional tasks and overall buzz of the future, would likely need to pursue certifying courses and advanced education, especially for higher designations. When we are thinking of global HR function of the future, we do tend to think about HRM in India. India is a large country with highly diverse, highly complex culture. To give you an idea, India has 179 languages and 544 dialects. The Constitution recognizes 16 languages, Hindi and English being the two official languages. India has one of the largest English-speaking populations in the Asia-Pacific region. The literacy rate for those over 15 years of age is 51%, but literacy is unevenly distributed. India is home to Fortune 500 companies as well as some of the wealthiest people in the world, and at the same time it also struggles with the problems of poverty, health and education. Naturally, how HRM in India will evolve would be influenced by its own unique context. According to Pawan Budwar, some of the socio-economic challenges in the country include increasing population and employability, corruption, casteism and low ease of conducting business. Budwar conducted a study in 2001 using a questionnaire survey of top personnel specialists among firms having 200 or more employees in 6 industries in the manufacturing sector, including food processing, plastics, steel, textiles, pharmaceuticals and footwear. 137 people responded out of 450. The respondents were asked to allocate a maximum of 100 points to different aspects of national culture, HR related institutions, dynamic business environment and business sector. We have highlighted interesting findings from the survey as we will see next. Content analysis of the open-ended question about the influence of national culture on Indian HRM showed that 135 managers reported that cultural assumptions shaped the way managers thought about the organization. For your information, our cultural assumptions are about ourselves, about others and such. 130 managers each reported that culture affected the way managers were socialized and their norms of behavior. 118 managers reported that culture shaped the influence of pressure groups such as labor unions. In fact, they said that unions often created problems for the management. The managers also reported their experience of which institutions influenced HR practice. 132 managers said that national labor laws influence business. 120 managers named educational and vocational training setup as influential institutions. 101 managers named professional bodies as influential. 98 managers reported trade unions to be influential, while 72 reported international institutions such as International Labour Organization, to be influential. While naming the influence of changes in the business environment, 126 managers highlighted increasing focus on total quality management and customer satisfaction. 125 managers each identified increased competition and globalized business, as well as increasingly sophisticated information and communication technology and use of automation. 116 managers noted increasing forms of international business alliances such as joint ventures, mergers and acquisitions. 105 managers reported downsizing and business re-engineering. 102 managers noted increasing diversity of workforce on the basis of gender, age, ethnicity and values. So you can see that what we study in conventional textbook discussing traditional HRM practices are very much likely to persist in India for a while. However, as the managers have reported, globalization, international alliances, use of technology and consumer and quality focus may accelerate the rate of change in HRM in India as well as deliver the managers to the future. Before we say goodbye, here are some additional instructions and requests for you to complete. First, we would require you to join the Google group HR for Non-HR GU. It is set up as a question and answer forum. Participating on this forum is a part of your evaluation. You can raise questions, answer the questions open for the forum, and respond to the comments made by other members. Second, we request you to complete the student feedback, which can be filled via Google form at the link which you can see on your screens. Your feedback is valuable to us and will be very helpful in improving the program to meet your needs more closely. If you have liked the course, please like us, be our friends and be a part of community at our Facebook page at the link that you see on your screen. We thank you for joining this course and hope that it fulfilled your needs, at least the important ones if not all. We also hope that you would have gained peer learning from others through online platforms on Google and Facebook. It is time to say goodbye from all of us here. Thank you once again and wish you all the very best in all your endeavors.